Hello. Hi. Can everyone hear? Hi. So cool. So today I'm gonna talk about how we think about transforming Carousel from what we call the mobile first to an AI first classifieds. So before that, I'm just going to share about our history, a little bit about our history, the present, and then take you into the future that we want to create. So I'm Lucas, one of the co-founder of Carousel. So a little bit about Carousel. So we are a mobile classified apps that make it easy for you to buy and sell anything. As simple as taking a photo, as simple as chatting. So you can buy and sell anything. We have 30 categories. You can buy and sell anything on Carousel. So think of it as the 2017 version of this, right? I'm sure you guys, used to be the older days. You flip up the newspaper and you see that, hey, this is the news classifieds and so on. So this is the Carousel. It's the 2017 version of that. So simple Carousel, it's snap, list, sell, simple to sell, list anything in 30 seconds, in-app chat directly with the sellers or buyers. It's image-centric, social features as well. You can share your photos, you can join groups of your interest on Carousel. So how we got started? So Carousel we started 5 years ago. So these are my co-founders and myself. So this 2012, the scrappy office that we have. So we actually met in Silicon Valley. So we spent a year in Silicon Valley under a school program. So when we were there, we have the chance to work part-time at Silicon Valley startups. That's where you kind of the inspiration came out, right? Like, hey, technology can really change things. You look at companies like WhatsApp, they only have 35 employees at the time, and they are serving 450 million monthly active users. Imagine every employee is actually serving so many million people just with technologies. Instagram, 13 employees serving 30 million users. So we say that, hey, if people in Silicon Valley can do it, why can't we? Technology is everywhere, it's democratized. Why can't we bring it back to Southeast Asia and build something with technology too? So when we come back, we decided to do our own startup. So it's really to solve our own problems, right? So we buy and sell a lot of gadgets. We have too many gadgets lying around. There's no simple way to sell. At the time you want to sell something, you have to go to forums and stuff. So it's very tedious. So with that, we decided to create Carousel. So we joined a hackathon. We launched the first version, the prototype version at hackathon and go from there. So officially, Carousel was launched in 13 August 2012, so 5 years since. So the impact, the current where we are, Carousel in the market. So we are in 7 countries. So we're in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Philippines, as well as Australia. So we have over 65 million listings in the marketplace. Over 28 million items have been sold on the marketplace. Every minute there's 120 listings created on Carousel. So in Malaysia itself, so we launched Malaysia 3 years ago. So in terms of listings, we currently have the most listings in terms of compared to the other mobile classifieds marketplace. So over 7 million listings have been created in Carousel Malaysia alone to today. So, and in terms of the growth, we're growing over 30% month-on-month growth since January. So one thing that special about Carousel is the user engagement, right? So when we design the product, we think about user first. What will actually make users stay on the app and engage with the app first? So we have over 11 million product listings views every day. People view the app. And successful sellers actually spend about 28 minutes a day on Carousel. So average time spent per month is 2.2 hours. So compared to the other classifieds in the world, you can actually see that Carousel users in general spend more time on Carousel due to the simplicity, the engagement, the kind of the product that we create in the marketplace. So this is a little bit about the current state of Carousel. So if you think about product first, right? What is the next evolution of classifieds, right? So if you were to go back, we're trying to create what we call the classifieds 4.0. So try to take you a little bit through the history of classifieds. So what we call classifieds 1.0 was the days where print, you open up a newspaper, you flip to one of the classifieds page, and then you say, oh, this is a jobs ad, this is a ads, and then you call the person up and you go about it. And then the internet came along. That's where Classifieds 2.0 came about. So this was the desktop app. So in the 90s, you have Craigslist, you have the forums and so on. People started going online to buy and sell and do everything. So 5 years ago, we were one of the pioneers for mobile first, right? So if you kind of imagine 5 years ago from now, mobile was really new at the time. People are just starting, especially in the developing countries. People are starting to go online through mobile. So we were one of the first that try to reimagine. If it takes 30 minutes to sell on classifieds on the desktop, you have to take a photo with your camera, upload, crop your photo yourselves. It takes very long. What if you can just shorten the process to 30 seconds or 1 minute through mobile, right? So on the mobile, you have camera, you have location, you have chat, everything is simple. So pioneering classifieds 3.0 with mobile first concept. So 5 years since, that was 2012. Now we are in 2017 and going forward, right? So what kind of, going forward 5 years from now, what kind of world will we be living in, right? Just kind of, a lot of talks has been about, like even recently if you watch Google I/O, Google has been focusing really a lot, shifting the entire company from a mobile-first company to an AI-first company. So Sundar talked a lot about this 1 year ago, and in the recent Google I/O, you can see that really the shift in the focus of the company has been that. And it's true. I mean, it's not just saying that we want to move to AI first for the AI first sake, but the first principle that we're trying to solve is that how can we create the simplest experience for our users? What people really care about when they come to Carousel is, I come in here, can I list an item the fastest possible time? As a buyer, can I find my item at the fastest possible time? And mobile has helped us achieve that from 30 minutes to 30 seconds. With AI, can we actually, from 30 seconds to 3 seconds or even 1 second, with that? So that's something that we've been thinking a lot about. I wouldn't say that we are there. I mean, it's something that the company has been putting a lot of focus into. So it's something that we are working really, really hard on, hiring the best engineers, data scientists for that. But the commitment is moving towards AI first. So why is that? How will AI actually help us getting from 30 seconds to 3 seconds? So if you look at 4.0, so if you look at the selling experience, so we talk about selling experience. Currently in Carousel or any of the mobiles app, if you wanna sell something, you have to take a photo. Maybe you take multiple photos. You have to go type in the title, type in the description, type in the price. Think of a price. Like, how do you know how to think of a price, right? What we found out is that especially for new sellers, one of the hardest thing to sell in any marketplace is pricing. Pricing actually affects how fast you sell your item. Any items can be sold, just at what price. So a lot of times what you do is that, how do you know how to price your second-hand MacBook? So what you do is you actually go and research what other people are selling, and then you try to put a price. So even though we say 30 seconds, actually if you want to sell something, it still maybe take about 10 minutes or so to sell an item. So what if with vision, right, computer vision, deep learning, what if we can have a concept where you just open up your app, start scanning around the room. Google recently launched the Google Lens, right? And then you can just point your item at anything, it will tell you what it is. So similar concept, if you want to sell a watch, you can just point it at your watch. Tells you it's a watch. You should list it in the watch categories, and you should kind of price it at maybe 500 to 500 ringgit and so on. So this is the concept that we are working on internally. But you can imagine if this succeeds, instead of spending time typing and researching, you can just point it and it tells you what it is. This can shorten the process from 30 seconds or minutes to 3 seconds, just like that. So that's on the selling side. Really on the buying side is currently we've seen a lot of e-commerce side. There's a lot of recommendations and so on, but it's not quite to the personal level, like truly personal level. How recommendations work now is still very group-based, right? Maybe similar people that will buy the same thing as you. But the true e-commerce experience, the true marketplace experience is something that is based on you, based upon your history and so on. It may be related to someone, but there's still certain kind of personalization. So in the buying experience, the best way to give the users the best experience is through personalization. Besides that, the other one, we're also moving towards what we call conversational commerce, right? So this comes in both forms, how you find items and how you chat. So how you find items currently, in a lot of interface, you type in a search keyword, you try to filter, but what if you can search in the same way as how you talk to Siri? If you want to find something, you can just say, give me a dress that is less than $20 with this color. So just the most natural way of conversing is really through conversation. Just like how you walk into a store, you talk to a salesperson. Similar way, you can talk to your phone, and you tell you that you can find things just by talking it this way. Chat bots as well, smart replies. Instead of chatting, it will show you replies that you can use to reply to your items. So how we are moving towards, the whole company are moving towards from mobile first to AI first is really, if you look at 5 years ago, a lot of companies, when they talk about mobile, trying to move from desktop to mobile, they always have a central team that says, okay, this is the team that does mobile. Now we see a lot of companies that this is the team that does machine learning, that does data and stuff. But we believe that similarly, it will be as if how we move towards mobile, which is every single team in a company, every single product team in a company should have AI capabilities, should have machine learning capabilities. So we're actually embedding engineers, data scientists into each of the teams. So today we are already using machine learning, using AI in our search, in giving a good trust experience, trying to find the best pricing and so on, and trying to accelerate that so that we can truly move from mobile first to AI first. So to kind of quote kind of Amazon, right? So 5 years in, I mean, as you start up and so on, the world is moving so fast. I mean, the only kind of way for you is to keep innovating. So for us, it's always day one. By day one, meaning kind of imagining 5 years ago, we were building a mobile first world. Today, we're actually building an AI first world. So it's always day one for us. We always say that it's less than 1% done for us. We're excited to see what would the next 5 years be like for classifieds in general, for marketplace in general, and we really think AI is the way forward for any classifieds and any marketplace. So kind of going back to our goal is really to make buying and selling simple so that anyone can fill their lives with more meaningful experience. So yeah, so this is us, we're just getting started. So yep, thanks.